Jose, I have to ask you, please tell us the look that you're wearing.
I just felt like this is like my expression of my inner self.
It's normal, Jose. We had to cover up the clown makeup with the cinema makeup while we were shooting.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah. So this is me, kind of like deep, kind of like message.
Well, hi, everybody. I want to thank you for being here at the 15th Annual Sunscreen Film Festival, and I'm so glad you were able to bring Beast here, and what a beast it was. I'm actually kind of scared of a couple of you people because you did such a great job. I guess first, tell me how this story came to you, and let's start from there.
So, I mean, it's kind of just, it's a few different ideas for movies that I had, and they sort of found a way to all intersect as this sort of, story about a town, and we get to know what this place and time are through these people. So it was sort of just a bunch of ideas that all smashed together into one.
So when it came to casting these characters, I imagine that Jose probably really doesn't know how to skateboard because there was nothing credible about what he did there, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, the parts were all written for these guys. We had, Will and I grew up making movies together. Shirley was the lead in the short Krista, playing the same character. And so we kind of like, meshed together, and we knew that we wanted to keep working together. And Jose I met through my friend Sean Wells up in Oakland. And we just kind of did some like screen tests and stuff, and kind of just like played together and filmed a couple things. And we're like, I think we could do this. I wanted a Nito-esque kind of energy, so I wrote it for Jose. So, yeah.
And Krista, how did you come? No, not Krista, Shirley, I'm sorry. How did you come to play Krista?
Well, so I went to performing arts high school in Los Angeles called Los Angeles County High School for the Arts. And I think I was about like 17 or something, and I got this email from my theater head that just said like, open call audition for this short film, come if you want. And at the time I moved to LA for acting. And I'd done a couple of things, but I was like, I'm not doing anything right now. Let me just try and see what this is. And then I came to the Vanishing Angle studio and met Danny and Will, and just had a really amazing time kind of playing. And that's kind of how I got the part of Krista. And I never could have imagined that from like this short that I was just on a whim went to kind of became this whole amazing, wonderful, beautiful project. Yeah.
So in the screenwriting, from screenwriting to filming, the Jose and Krista, especially their characters, were so natural. Was a lot of that scripted, or did you let them, how did that happen? Was it?
Yeah, I mean, part of it, I mean, it's like with anything on set, you want to just like create an environment where performers are comfortable, and feel free to be themselves and to be the characters. So particularly for Jose and Shirley, I wanted to write characters that were close to who they are as people. So we could just like, once they're comfortable with the process and the people around them, we can just start rolling and have them be themselves and kind of capture those like wonderful, life moments. And then obviously it goes places that Shirley and Jose have never experienced, so like taking it from that kind of natural, this is just who I am, and then really pushing the performance element. I think everyone rose to the occasion. And in Will's case, it was just the character is totally different from him in most ways. So, but with Will's kind of like, training and kind of everything that we've done together, I knew that I could ask a lot of Will as far as like transformation goes,
And so many times out in this world now, you feel like, oh, been there, done that. We've seen this film before. This is a remake. I felt like this was really so fresh and so different. And then the character development of each one, I know you said you wrote for those people. But the fact that the separate worlds that, Jose lives in, that Krista lives in, and that Will's character lives in, so different, and then they eventually overlap. Tell me about that. Did you live this in any way?
I mean, in a sense, yeah. Are my teeth disappearing like Shirley's?
No,
Shirley's
no, you're not.
Black and white.
I tried.
I think for me, I'm a big Steinbeck fan, and I've forced a couple Steinbeck books on people. Jose can attest. But books like he writes these books like Tortilla Flat and Cannery Row and Pastures of Heaven that have this like amazing sense of place. And even in those cases, it's these like small communities. It's like a part of a town, a neighborhood, but you get this like amazing variety of experience in that singular place. And I think for me growing up, it was totally the different. I mean, we filmed this movie in our hometown. Like the brick house is the house where Will and I grew up. And it's like feeling the variety of experiences that people can have based on what neighborhood they live in or what their home life is like, who their friends are in school. It just, that kind of variety is so interesting to me, that we're all within a mile and a half of each other, but live in these different worlds in a way. But the one part that I think, the most natural part, I think, in the movie is the kiss scene. And I know everyone cringes and like, oh, the kiss scene. Because that was genuine, like nerves and, kind of discomfort and, and it was just like really fun to see that. I don't know, it really captures that kind of like adolescent, like not even an adolescent. That's like what a first kiss feels like often, so I don't know. I like the kind of like natural feel that came in that moment. And it was like, we only did that once and it was like, that's it. That's the moment right there. We're not going to like do that again.
How involved were you with the edit, or were you the editor?
I was sort of carrying the edit all the way through. And then we brought in a friend, David Brundage, to work for a few months. And then our buddy Pete O's came in to help us kind of finish it off for the last few months. So I don't know. I really like a long post-production and kind of let it change as I change. It was about a year of editing, and I don't know. I like to really go through and kind of like, I don't know, completely change up a scene, see if there are like little discoveries I didn't notice the first time around. And then having these kind of like seasons where like other editors come in and help was really wonderful to get their perspectives. And it all kind of like snowballs into the movie that it turns out to be.
Are you that flexible on set?
I like to be, yeah. I mean, you guys can attest to that. I like variety on set. I like to just, because like if you guys are all in it, we get them in it. It's not like there's like a bunch of like, it's just like different versions of what the scene can be, different energy levels, different kind of where we're hitting on like the emotional needle. And I don't know, I like to play with it. And I think all three of you guys were like so great at just going along with that version and doing all these varieties. So it definitely makes the post-production, it kind of like backloads the post-production, because there's just like so much more decisions to make in post-production, but it feels good on the day to have fully explored these moments in different,
So do you roll on everything?
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah, we didn't slate on set. That's something that I feel like kind of gets in the way, especially with like people, like this is most everyone's like first real like feature film, so I didn't like for like the slate to get in the way, like that process of like rolling, like, scene A, take shot one,
Action.
It was like, let's just always be going. And like the sound department was great about kind of going with that. Chris Manzo was our sound mixer on set, and he was just so adaptable to that. And our camera crew, Christian Zuniga and the rest were just like, and so most of the time I was just holding the camera and I would just kind of run right in there and I would just hit record and then like give a little symbol to the sound guys and they would record, so like hopefully we kept the process kind of out of the way of it all. So it was just like such a community experience of coming out. And if you look through and if you pause it, it's all the people, any grown up in the movie is someone we grew up with, and any kid is like a kid in the community, in the drama department or media production. And it was just like really wonderful to have everyone come out, and all of our cast and the rest of the cast and the rest of the crew were just, it just felt like such a tight knit kind of crew, and I had fun every single day, which is weird because I would call other friends who had made their first features and stuff. And they're like, wait, what? You're having fun? Like you feel like you're getting like good shots? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's like, I never hear that on people's first film. So I think we, that kind of goes from a top down thing. Ben Wiesner, our producer, is just such a like bear, such a father figure for the whole crew, cooking meals, literally like cooking meals himself for everyone and just like keeping it all going, scheduling it. And yeah, it was really amazing. Eli Raskin, co-producer, and Tara Ansley. Like everyone everyone came in with the right attitude and the right commitment.
Well, it really worked. And we're so glad that you were able to bring it to the Sunscreen Film Festival. I'm sorry that we had to delay, COVID out of our hands, but we're glad it's showing.
I'm glad you guys have watched it. Hopefully you got something out of it. And
powerful. I didn't know how I was going to get through it, but I was literally like on the edge of my seat. Oh my God, what's going to happen next? What is he going to do next? What's going to, but thank you so much for being here with us today and talking to us about Beast. And we look forward to seeing what's next for you guys.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Can't wait to see it, guys.
Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Julie.